4th win by less than 2 baskets at home this season. What does that say about this team?
I don't really know, but the MVP race is over. No, it's over. Like, if it's not over tonight, then tell me what the definition is. Okay, played 40 minutes, scored 42 minutes, guarded the other team's best player, did everything. Most valuable player to his team. This thing is over. If you're not voting for Bryce Cotton, who's been the best player in this league since the day he got here, I want to know why. I want to see the votes. It's not even close. The MVP race is over today. Next question.
Well, Bryce, Mike's obviously put in a big statement for you right there, and the numbers do tell the story around that. I want you to talk to me about your defensive effort today and the different things that you did to contribute to this team's win today.
I mean, man, New Zealand, they shot the ball incredible. And I felt like anytime we started to gain some momentum, hit some shots, they'd come right back down and hit a tough contested shot. And it was demoralizing, but, you know, with everything on the line, you know, we're all reminding each other, like, just stay with it. Like, there's no way they can keep shooting like this. But they did. But we ain't give up. Yeah. And eventually, luck started to come on our side. I'm not going to say he's wrong.
Smart move. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
How did you turn that thing around, obviously, for 3 quarters?
Yeah.
First quarter was obviously did get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? I mean, we've been off for a little bit, and you got to give them credit for how they did shoot the ball and the spacing that they had, and man, they made shots, and that's what this game comes down to a lot of times. But kind of go back to your first question is, you know, this team's found a way to win this year. For the most part, this journey over now 32 games, we've showed the grit and the determination to figure out how to win. And maybe it wasn't exactly how we wanted it to be in the first quarter or the first half or even the third quarter, because we had a little momentum there and then they made a couple of really big shots. But we outscored them 33-18 in the fourth. You know, we got to the spots that we needed to. And, you know, there was times that Bryce just put us on his back. You know, and that's what the best player in the league does. You know, he puts it on the back, and he carried us, and he led us on both ends of the floor. His leadership in the timeouts, on the court, what he was saying to the group was better than his scoring on offense.
Yeah, that coach's challenge, the one with 30 seconds left to go, when Brockington potentially had 3 shots.
Yeah.
How confident were you in that, and who spotted that?
Well, you know, we've been 0 for the season on challenges, and it's kind of become a little bit of a deal with me. It's something that I used to do in my past life, and I felt like I used to actually be pretty good at it. Obviously, I'm horrible at challenges, but what happened today was I'm good with being 0 for the year, because the first one actually was so big in the context of the game. To get that and to win that one was really important for us. And that one's a little more 50-50 to me. The second one, in that point in the game with Brockington, I've always felt like, you know, there's a natural shooting motion with everybody. We naturally kind of kick our feet out in corner threes and stuff, and Brockington does that, and he has that. But I felt like there was an extra kick, and in that moment, because we won the first one with the time and the score and everything, you have to go ahead and double down and challenge that one and take a look at it. They're both tough plays. I'm very, very happy that we ended up winning both those. They were huge plays within the game.
Mike, at the start, they scored the first 9 points, you called timeout. You were really fired up, understandably, but what were you most upset about? Was it that they weren't following the game plan, or?
No, just, you know, we want to come out. You obviously want to get the right shots and have the right momentum and look like we're organized. And, you know, I know everybody in that locker room wants to win, and I want to win. And, you know, all of a sudden it's like they're kind of getting the shot that they want, and we're sort of not getting the shot that we want. I didn't see us get to the paint. I didn't see us get to the second side. I didn't see us put pressure on the rim. Those are things that we're really pretty good at. And when we do those sort of things, that's what we're good at, right? And that's why we win. The first half, I would say, though, we didn't really have a lot of ball movement. The ball didn't get side to side. And we took probably more threes in the half than we probably have all year. I think we took 19 in the half, where I wanted to see a little more pressure in the paint, on the rim, putting them in rotations, putting them in closeouts and things like that. And, I've got a really competitive group, and, they're going to respond when I kind of get on them a little bit in that moment. And, as the game wore on, to me, you saw who we've been the whole year to the fourth quarter. And, it was probably a little more exciting than all of us wanted it to be. But we did find the shots and the rhythm that we wanted on both ends of the court. And then that really, the defensive end is what came along there.
And the extension of that slow start right at the start of the game was the fact that you lost the first half. You've lost the first half 6 home games in a row. And I think Derek in the commentary made the comment that that's a hard way. You're making it hard for yourself to win games. Is that something you can address and try and rectify?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can definitely talk about, what our routine is. This is the last regular season game. The next time we play here will be a playoff game, I would imagine. There'll probably be a little more attention to detail and ready from the start, so to speak. I don't think we weren't ready, though. I don't think it's a matter of us not being ready. I just think that we sort of took this shot or took that shot, and they're a really good team, and they got to the rim, and all of a sudden it's like, you have a group that really wants to play well, and they want to do the right things, and it just didn't go our way right at the gate, right at the start of it. But it's an interesting deal. We've sat on top of the ladder for 13 or 14 rounds now, right? Like 13. And now we're finally getting to the point where these games really, really matter, right? And there's real game pressure. And that's why I took the time out at that moment. And, I thought we responded somewhat, and they made some really, really good plays. You give them credit. But as the game wore on, you saw the team that we've been the whole year.
And that evolution of your team, you took 39 threes tonight.
Yep.
So that's too short of the club record. Last time you took that many was 20 years ago. Is that where the team has evolved to, and is that going to continue, or would you prefer to rein that in a little bit?
Yeah, I can't really, as a coach, I don't think that you can ever almost dictate shots, to be honest with you. You have a style of play that you'd like to get to, but the way they're defending certain actions or formations or the way you start a possession is going to dictate the type of shot that you get. I can't sit there and it's not a video game. I can't control the type of shot that we are getting. I can sort of put them in an action. Hey, Bryce, you got it. We're doing X, Y, and Z, and the defense is going to make a play, and then you read, and, guys got to react. And I thought we had some good open looks that were a little short, and then I thought we had some half-open sort of looks in that first half, but what you saw in the second half was that ball get to the second side, and things moved around. We got to some flash action, and Bryce did what he did with more space on the floor than in the first half.
So with this win today, top 3 guaranteed, securing a home final, what does that mean to be playing in the finals on your home court?
You want to answer that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want. Obviously, we've done a pretty good job being consistent all year as a team. We had a lull for 3 weeks or so, or 3.5 weeks, whatever it was. But when you look at the big picture of who we've been as a team, it's been pretty damn consistent. So to understand we've put ourselves in a position to have a game at the crib, in postseason, that's what you want. So it feels great.
Do you feel more fired up yourself? Obviously hitting that dagger at the end of the game, coming up to the ruck, and me and Case at the bench getting all fired up. Do you feel like that is elevated at a home game rather than being away?
Nah, I'm wired the same no matter where I'm at. It's just I know how hard we fought to get this win, and I know how great New Zealand played tonight. So that's where that came from.
Derek said he was a little bit nervous when you came over. He wasn't quite sure what to do. I don't know, was it any particular message for him or for anyone in particular?
Yeah, if he doesn't know, he missed it. We'll never know now. It's come and gone.
Mike, can I touch about John Jenkins tonight? He's played, obviously, his shot was off early. He only played less than 10 minutes, none of 5. There was no physical problem with him. You just thought it wasn't going to be his night, and that's why his minutes were down?
Yeah, it's definitely not a negative to John Jenkins. He's a hell of a player. I think maybe whatever, like there's a lot of guys that played really well. It was more about the guys that played well. I thought, again, I had 3 bigs that played up exceptional. Z's 12, 12, and 8 was huge for us. Nick Rakocevich's, the 2 threes that he made in the game were in such a crucial point where we really didn't maybe have a flow of the game going. Ice, the way he started, the middle of the game, putting him back in late, they had some massive possessions. And we started the second half with DJ. I don't know if anybody realized that, but we put DJ back out there to start the second half. He guards PJC most of the second half. He scores 19. I had a group that has probably played more minutes together, plus-minus wise. They're the best plus-minus group I have got the whole year. I doubled down on our consistency and what we've done the whole year, and familiarity and practice time and reps and real game minutes tonight. And I want to give DJ a huge shout out because we don't win the game with what he did out there tonight. So, it's not John's a stud. He's a great person, great player. He'll make those shots. But I just was kind of finding a group that played well, and Bryce had it going, and DJ had it going, and DJ's part of my leadership culture. I think him and Bryce communicate as well or better than anybody. Flynn was guarding the other team's best player, trying to find the offense. Z was trying to figure out those flashes and how he could get to the rim, and his rebounding was critical at certain times. So it was more about the guys that played well in that moment.
And having DJ start there at the start of the second half, it was almost back to where you started the season with that 5. Is that something that will you look to change up a starting 5?
If you look at my history of this year, we've started different lineups to start the second half a lot.
Yeah.
So I just think that you don't always have to start the same starting 5 to start the second half. It's the same as do I start same guys the second quarter or the fourth quarter, whatever. There's certain matchups and game context. And I think there's a lot of guys that bring different things out there. Like Isaac White didn't play a lot of minutes tonight, but he does bring certain things to our deal. Matt Kenyon came in and took Brockington for a while, and I tell him at times he's got to be the fireman because he's got to go in there and guard somebody that maybe has made some baskets, and he's got to go try to put it out. And when a guy's got the rhythm, it's the hardest job in the world to sit on the bench for maybe a quarter and a half, and then all of a sudden go get a guy that's in his rhythm. And Matt Kenyon grabbed that role and took that role, and then, us being able to switch some things in the second quarter got the game back under control where it was like 10 or 11 at halftime. And that was a big deal with him and Nick coming into the game. So you're just trying to find different ways to win the game. That's where the chess match works. Okay? Okay.
Actually, sorry, Mike, can I ask you one very quickly?
Absolutely.
Okay, so going back to Bryce about being MVP, I'm clearly not disagreeing, and Bryce knows me well enough to know that I won't be disagreeing, but have you been frustrated that there has been a discussion even about who the MVP is?
Absolutely not. It's part of the league. I get it. I mean, there's always discussions. That's what's great about this league. There's great players in this league. There's a lot of guys that we could talk about that have had a great season. But, for his value to this team and what he's done, I do not believe that it's even close. He is the best player. He does everything that we need to do on and off the court. He leads us in timeouts on offense and defense. I don't know what the definition of MVP is if he's not the MVP of the NBL in 26. It's not even close.
No, perfect. Thanks, Mike. Mike, back in first.
Coach, how close do you feel you are to playing the sort of basketball that you would ideally like to be playing come playoffs?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
How close do you feel you are to the sort of basketball you'd ideally like to be playing come playoffs?
Well, it depends on how you want to look at it. If you want to look at it as like a team found a way to win, and you kept solving the problem, and like I've sat up here before, we showed true grit, and nobody ever wavered, and they kept connecting, and we found a way to win, and that's what you got to do in the playoffs. That's super, super important to have that, everybody pulling in the same directions. And when I sat down in the huddle, most of the night we were talking about defense. And when guys are doing that without the coach being in there, that gives you a chance to win every night. So in that context, I'm really happy because, we've got real grit. and they know what it takes to win. And we've been in close games this whole year, and we've figured out a way to win. And so that's a real positive for my end. The negative, obviously, what John pointed out is we'd like to get off to a better start.
Thanks, Coach. That's all.
Okay, thanks, guys.